world, and they've continued to show example, what democracy should be. Um, no matter what anybody says, no matter what other leaders of the
of the
world
world.
say about this election. So first, I congratulate America, and I wish them the best as Trump um, is inaugurated today as the 47th president of the U.S. Well, what am I looking at? Trump has been very straight and direct with his policies. It's not his first time. He was there. He was the 45th president before the
Joe
outgoing
Biden.
president defeated him 4 years ago. Now he has come back. He has not minced anywhere with what he's going to do. He has talked about, particularly his restrictive immigration policies. He's talked about he's going to defund United Nations. He talks about deportation of illegal immigrants. He talks about tax increase in tax bill. That's for the U.S. He talks about he's very concerned about the war between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah.
He also weighing on the Gaza-Israeli war. So these are the issues that he's not shying away from. He promised to hit the ground running. He promised that people will begin to see his impact from day one. That's from today. So let's see. Trump is no stranger to controversy. He's no stranger to things that people would consider moderate and modest. He's always taking, even from his own nomination as the ministers and key White House officials, you can see from the one, he doesn't take any prisoners, and I hope the war will be better than in the second term than the first term.
But knowing that, I mean, he has just 4 years, in power. And he even boasted that he initiated the peace talk between the Israel Gaza war and all. So do you think things are being positive? There's probably light at the head of the tunnel in this 4 years that he has to spend.
I didn't quite get you. I
Okay,
hope
I said, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can hear you
I
now.
mean, we understand that he has just 4 years in power, and he has highlighted so many things that he will look into within those 4 years. Are you seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with the 4 years in power?
All right. Yes, of course. You agree with me that in his first term there was nothing like Russia-Ukraine war, and there was no a full-blown Israel-Gaza war, as it were, in his first term.
Yeah.
And his first term was plagued by the outbreak of coronavirus. We all know what happened. It's not as if he's coming in anew. He has been there. He has had his policies. He has had his reform, most of which he did not see them to logical conclusions, and he promised to see them. And again, if you know his campaign, he has always been MAGA, Make America Great Again, American First. Every country in the world, every leaders of the world want to always look inward first and make their country great first before they begin to extend their external policy, immigration, and the rest to the rest of the world. As it were, yes, it has not been a guru in America. You talk about job cuts, talk about inflation, talk and see how America economy is better off, because America have always been, they are superpowers based on the military and economic powers. So if they get their economy working again, maybe the rest of the world begin to respect and quote and unquote fear the America, as we used to say it. I also believe that, yes, the war in Russia and Ukraine is about leadership. In the last 4 years, the world have not had a decisive leader who can step in and have this negotiation, negotiate with these people and bring the war to an end. And we believe that, and I believe personally that Trump has that characteristics. Is positioned to do that. And I also believe, and if you look at the Trump first 4 years, you hardly would you see war, or hardly would you see another country attacking another country throughout his fourth term. Though he was very explosive in terms of his orders, in terms of his warning, in terms of how he reacted to other countries of the world, seeing them as a kid brother. But we had peace during his time across the world. So I believe that he's coming back. We could also see him, putting himself in the mix and ensuring that peace returned to Russia and Ukraine and the Israel-Gaza war, especially with so much tension created by Iran. And so we need a big brother who will stand up and see to it that some of these things are brought back to normal.
Anyway, is that to say that you're questioning Joe Biden? It's questioning his administration?
No. I'm not questioning Joe Biden. I'm saying because Democrats have their way of doing things, and I think and Republicans, don't forget, they are not in the same party. Republicans, the great old party, they have their own way of addressing some of these issues. Their foreign policies are different. The Democrat foreign policy is pro-Africa, but yet we still not get so much from America. You can imagine. Joe Biden is coming to this was the fact that they consider their policy their policy pro-Africa. Joe Biden was just coming to Angola in the tail end of his tenure. I mean, that's the first time he's visiting, and the African leaders haven't gotten so much from the Democrats. But the Republicans, they make their stand. They are not pro. They believe in building their nation first. They believe that you must be able to build yours and come to the table with something. Okay, they have all grants and support to third world countries. They like somebody like Trump want to see great leaders like Mandela coming from Africa.
Yeah.
People who are transparent. People who have the interests of their people at heart. They don't want to see leaders who are corrupt. They don't want to see leaders who come begging, come cap in hand every time, every now and then, behaving like slaves. These are not the policies of the Republicans. They want to see a viable continent, a viable countries that can always sit on the table and have concrete discussions about the world peace. I'm not questioning what Biden is doing. I mean, they have their own policies. You can see that it was during the Democrat Biden time that the Israel-Gaza war broke out full blown. The Americans couldn't do anything until the Russians attacked the Ukraine. I mean, they were in a position to not to allow that happen, but it happened. So it will be something of joy to see that somebody has come in and nicked all of those things in the bud.
All right, to be something of joy to see that things are really, really getting into place. Well, the conversation is still on. You can be part of this conversation right here on Super 92.7 FM. Yes, we're looking at the presidential inauguration right there in the United States of America. All right, the phone line is 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927 or 0805 092 0927. 0805 092 0927. Or you can send us messages via WhatsApp. Yes, you can send us messages via WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Let me let you know that for the first time in U.S. history, a president-elect will welcome foreign leaders for one of the most American political traditions. That's the peaceful transfer of power. Well, Donald Trump has invited the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, and also the conservative world leaders. That's the Argentine President Javier Mal, and also the Italian Premier, who is Giorgia Meloni, to the inauguration. Xi Jinping actually sent Vice President as his representative. It seems to be like things are not settled 100% between China and America. But remember that he taxed. He said it. I was going to put double tax on China, and even the same thing on Russia. I mean, Russia is even the worst when it was, when he called that if Russia doesn't, act well, it would definitely, put an additional tax, on them. And it also said that no heads of state has previously made an official visit to the U.S. for the inauguration. Some of them, Milei and Paraguay's President Santiago Pena, were special guests yesterday at the Hispanic inaugural ball, where several of Trump's nominees for key cabinet positions made appearances. That's the U.S. Senator Marco Rubio, choosing to lead the State Department, and Robert Kennedy Jr., that's tapped as the head of Health and Human Service Department. Well, all of this will be. Let's look at the countries who will be participating in this, who will be coming to Washington for the 60th inauguration. Well, we have Argentina, we have China, Italy, Hungary, India, Ecuador, El Salvador, Brazil, Polish. But what strikes my mind right now, Mr. God, are you there?
I am here. I'm here, Michael.
All right, those who were not invited, the countries who were not invited, presidents who were not invited. We have UK. I mean, the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, was not invited, as the office had confirmed. The European Commission heads of Ursula von der Leyen, also that's the NATO member, who was also a member of the NATO. I'm surprised that a member of the NATO was not also invited to this inauguration. Germany's president, Olaf Scholz, was also not invited. I mean, Santiago Abascal, that's Portugal, were also not invited. French President Emmanuel Macron, wow, was also not invited. Well, I mean, I thought Macron and Trump have this friendly relations. But here we are. I mean, he was also not invited. How do you react? Trump has always been a man of drama sometimes, with his speech, with his actions and all.
Oh, Michael, I have already said it. Trump is no stranger to controversy. He does what he wants to do, right? Again, he's a politician, so he has his friends across the world. He has his friends.
You're not supposed to invite your friend. I mean, especially for someone like Macron.
This morning, Keir Starmer congratulating. He issued a statement congratulating him. They are strange bedfellows in terms of how they see world politics, how they see world views. Trump has not been a very good friend to the European Union leaders, as it were, because his perspective is quite different from what the likes of Macron, Starmer, and the guy in the Germany, how they see world politics, how they see world peace. So,
and no African country or president were also.
Trump, like I said, I told you, the Republican diplomacy. World politics do not see Africa as pro. They don't. The Trump himself. Should I even say he's a party by himself? The Trump himself do not see Africans as African leaders, as leaders who have something to offer. Really, you saw what happened in his first time during the former president. Muhammadu Buhari, when he went and the statements he allegedly made, and and all the names he called the African continents and the rest of it. So it will be out of place to even see that he has invited 2, 3, 4, 5 African leaders to the inauguration today. But I believe that there are a committee that is handling this. You're also aware that some a TV station in Nigeria has been invited, not by Trump, but by
the committee.
Trump surrogate.
I mean, even a musician, a Nigerian musician, a gospel musician. I think Nathaniel Bassey was also said it was been.
But inauguration in the U.S. is a big festival. It's a huge ceremony. I mean, there are a lot of legs, there are a lot of angle, there are a lot of people, committees, organizations handling some of these things.
Yeah.
And some not even get to the knowledge of the president-elect or the president that's going to be sworn in. But like I said, it's neither here nor there. Trump will be sworn in today. My excitement is that Trump's second term is coming as beginning to show some sign of fruition. You can see for a long time Israel Gaza just as a ceasefire and the hostage exchange. Those are the things that we talk about when you have a decisive leader. Yes, the world may not agree with the Trump style, but Trump has his style. He believes that his style will always work for him. And we are beginning to see some light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the crisis in the Middle East and the crisis in Europe between Russia and the Ukraine and other places. You can see that you said in your remark that the Chinese president has been invited. All right. You can also see that the crisis that
I think that is strategic anyway. I don't know if you feel so too.
Yes. What about the Canada? Canada is like a junior brother to the America. I mean, to the United States of America.
Tell them to come together, and be one.
So you'll be. Why Trump is trying to quench the fire in Gaza and Israel and Russia and Ukraine is talking another fire between the United States and the Canada. So
do you think that's what he's doing?
That is the man that Trump is. All right, you cannot understand this man fully. You cannot understand him completely. So it's going to be an interesting time. We're going to see a whole lot happening in the next 100 days. There's going to be policy somersault, policy announcement, pronouncement, and cancellation, as it were. He may just one day wake up, announce it, and denounce it tomorrow. So that is the man that Trump is. I hope and I believe that in the end, the world will be better for us.
All right, yes, at the hand, we hope and pray also that the world will be better. Well, you've heard it all from editor-in-chief, the industry newspaper. He says that 100 days of the Donald Trump administration that he might come with policy somersault. Well, let's still go down into the. Don't forget, Nigerians, Lagosians, you can be part of this conversation right here on Spotlight on Super 92.7 FM. 0705 890 4927 0705 890 4927 or 0805 0805 092 0927 0805 092 0927. Before we go deeper into African matter of deportation and all, let's look back a bit. I mean, there were shootings in Pennsylvania. Do you think that that's before, why during the campaign, why before the election? I mean, do you think that was the decisive point for Donald Trump? I mean, winning the election, that shooting where he injured his hair. It was just like a PR stuff, just as usual, as you always do. Do you think that was a decisive moment for him?
Of course, there is no. The international usually most times do not win American presidents an election. Now, the elections are decided by the American people. And then if you know the American people very well, they are very concerned about what happened within the America. All right? Whatever the international relations, the diplomacy that the president want to have, that Trump, almost everybody believes that for the optics, all right? So many people will not take him serious. He has made several, must first and foremost look inward and satisfy their yearning and their concern. Whatever you are doing at the international level, at the world level, is always secondary to winning an election in America. So whatever Trump did there, like I said to my friends and those who care to listen, that it was just for the optics. He was always trying to play politics.
Oh, really?
As it is, the time for politics is over. It is the time for governance.
All right, it's time for governance right there in the United States of America. Well, few hours from now, the inauguration will commence. Okay, let's go to other stories. We're talking about the issue of Nigeria and Africa and U.S. There's been this discrepancy, going on right there. But we sometimes still look at all of these issues. How will Trump's America First policies, evolve in this potential second term, and what impact will they have on global trade and diplomacy?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the last part.
I mean, what impact do you think it will have, on global trade and diplomacy?
Of course, Trump has already made some announcements. He has already imposed some tariffs, 25% tariff to goods importing from Mexico and Canada. He has also added additional 10% to the goods coming in from China. So he's going to impact all of this, and he's going to make some of these trade policies pronouncement very soon. I mean, it's going to become very clear. The trade secretary, the trade secretary will also weigh in, have his own ideas and everything. Like you said, it's American first. So whatever that is made in America is what is want to promote. Whatever that you are bringing in from other countries is going to impose taxes to ensure that those things do not come and water down the American economy. So he's also talked about his renewed, his first term was basically a trade war between America and China. We saw what happened, we saw what played out to a point. Recently now, the TikTok, Chinese social media platform has been banned in America. Is he going to reverse that? Is he going to work to reverse that?
He has recalled them. He has recalled them back.
Yes. They've recalled them back.
Yes. I mean, U.S. has recalled TikTok.
Okay, see, that is the influence of Trump. All right? That is the influence of Trump. So we are going to see, for the first time, he's actually open his arm to Chinese president.
I mean, TikTok are now dancing to Trump. They are rejoicing and dancing and thanking Trump for this.
You see, so that is it. So, yes. I mean, when that ban was announced, I think one of the leaders in China said that he believed that Trump will overturn it. And thank goodness that has happened. So we are going to see some alignment and some realignments where Trump didn't get it well, where Trump did not get it better in his first time. I think he must have learned the ropes. He was going to do better in his second term, where for the countries that are posing as a threat to America, particularly Mexico, with their, I don't know whether it's still going to continue with the building of the wall that is going to be sponsored or funded by the Mexicans. So I don't know, but whatever it is, I believe that
his second time as the president of the United States today. Africa is at a critical crossroads, facing the possibility of strained economic ties with the United States, with Trump's America First doctrine likely to dominate his agenda again. Well, the continents are being warned to prepare for potential shock investment. People have been talking about the Institute for Security Studies. Have also said that they should prepare for surprises, stressing the need to recalibrate strategies and anticipate shifts in United States foreign policy. IMF are also warning that tariff could disrupt global trade, supply chains, and investment. That is there. And also, Serap have also written that a lot of things to Trump that they should return the stolen assets and also ban corrupt officials. I mean, Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, they're saying this, calling on Donald Trump and the administration to identify U.S.-based proceeds of corruption traced to former and current Nigerian public officials. I mean, what's your take on this? Do you think it's something that can be done by Trump? Do you think it's a good step?
Of course, United States president is the most powerful president on the surface of the earth. There is nothing that they cannot do.
I mean, looking at who Trump is, do you think he's such step is interested in?
Of course, Trump has zero tolerance for corruption. He has zero tolerance for corruption, and he wouldn't want to have the proceeds of corrupt officials building their economy. I mean, the $52.8 million that has just been returned is a proceed of corruption. So it's not just in the U.S. It's a plea that we need to make to the world leaders, to France, to the United Kingdom, Germany, China, Japan, across the world. I mean,
with the kind of hams we've released.
This goes to show when that's why when the likes of Davido said he wouldn't encourage investment in his country at this time, some people came at him and shouted him down and called him names.
Yeah, very well.
I mean, who are the greatest set of people who are not encouraging investment in Nigeria? These are the politicians who stole our money. Instead of them to even invest it in Nigeria back, they take it abroad. You can imagine if $52.8 million was invested in this economy. You can imagine all the money that has been returned. If those money were invested in this economy, yes, stolen, reinvested in this economy.
It's about $500 billion.
So at this stage, I think it's not just a plea to Mr. Trump. It's not just a plea to Trump. It's a plea to all world leaders, to Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, where our stolen wealth are being stored. We should begin to make this plea and let them help us bring this money back.
Even if this money comes back, do you think it will be used judiciously? I mean, let's say the truth. Do you
Michael, let us return the money first. You see, you cannot. There is a proverb in my place. There is a saying in my place that you have to drive away the kites before you come back and begin to chastise the chicken who do not know their boundaries, where to eat. All right? So what you need to do is that bring the money first. When the money comes in first, then you will know whether they are going to use it well. Then we can now begin to hold those the money have come in. Now, we didn't know when the money develop legs and leave this country. Now we know when it's coming in. So we can ask questions. This money, where did you put it? Where is this money going to? So we now begin to hold our leaders accountable, Michael. So in the end, let us not begin to say, it's just like putting the cart before the horse. Are they going to be used judiciously? Why don't you bring back the money first?
Do you know that of recent?
Are you there?
Do you know of recent? Lateef Fagbemi, I'd recently, signed from some of this money of Maduekwe to Alinson Maduekwe to, recovered it. I think it was from US or which of the country? I can't remember right now. Signed that he has received some of this money this stolen money from Desani Alinsin. But and he said, oh, he was good. The NSA was also there. He has said, oh, it was definitely that this money was going to be used for. But I mean, this is Nigeria. We heard about the Abiola loot and all of this, and we're here. The prices of petrol.
Yes, you see,
are still...
those monies. Yes, you may not have seen a visible infrastructural development used by it, but like I said, I know that there's another term called reloot, but I believe that I am in support. I'm in support of the money coming back first before we begin to, because when the money comes back, we can keep good tap of it. We will know what the money is being used for. Now, if the money does not come in, you will not know, because when the money was leaving, we didn't know when it was leaving. Now we know when they are returning. Yes, they are not even returning as much as it was taken out, but it's still good. It's still a very positive development that we are able to get some of our money back. When that money comes back, we can now begin to see the areas that the money they are putting. The government, I mean, we are beginning to see government in this country who are truthful, who wants to tell us where they are putting our money. And we also, with this amount of money that we didn't plan for coming in, maybe the government can also tell us that the budget deficit, about 10 trillion naira that we're supposed to borrow, will be reduced. If that is what is going to be used for, it's a welcome development, Michael. So in the end, let us focus on seeing that, talking to other world leaders, make plea to them, beg them if we must, for them to ensure that these monies, these illicit funds, are returned back to the country.
Let me take you this way. I mean, you were saying that other leaders return. I mean, we do remember that we are in parley with let me say France, recently China, also India, all of this country, even UK. Now, so if with the corrupt leaders that you were saying that their money should be looted out, when you have parley with, I mean, you and I are friends. You're you're a president of a country, and I'm a president of another country, and we are friends. And you think that would be possible for you to say, okay, your corrupt people having money there, so let me return. Instead of that, I mean, that will be ignored. But maybe because US, I mean, no, I think, Sarah,
that's not true. It cannot be ignored, because when they are ignoring it, they are encouraging corruption in other countries, what they cannot stand in their own countries. The world leaders have come together to discourage corrupt practices, all right, by ensuring that when you have illicit funds in your economy, it would also affect your economy in a very negative way, because you are not going to have the correct indices, how you build your economy, what should be done, and if the money is pulled out tomorrow, what happened to the economy? So I think the global leaders have agreed that corruption is enemy to everyone. So if you encourage corruption in one country, you are inadvertently encouraging corruption in another country too. So I think that is why we have seen a lot of return loot from our past leaders, particularly the Abacha loot and other loot, as it were. Now Desiani came out to say it's not this, it's Aluko. So Aluko was his personal assistant. So if Aluko could steal that as a personal assistant, you could imagine what Desiani could have done. But that said, my plea this morning is not just for the setup to placate the president of the US to ensure that some of these loot are returned. My plea this morning is to placate every global leaders, every country's presidents, prime ministers, talking to them, because the amount of Nigerian money outside the shore of Nigeria illegally is humongous. It's humongous. If they return the money, you may be shocked that our budget could be covered. We may not need to rely so much on the borrowing. Now we borrowed almost for fun because there is scarcity of funds. There is the revenue stream is low. You understand, Michael?
I get you.
So please, instead of us to discourage that, oh, you have to tell us what you are going to use this money for, which I don't accept, I don't agree with all, the other countries of the world who always want to become a police officer to us, that tell us what you want to do with the money before we give it to you. No, you didn't. When the money was coming to your government, when the money was coming to your economy, you didn't stop it. You have the power to stop it at that time, but you didn't stop it. So you cannot tell us when you want to give me back my stolen property what I want to use it for. Give it to me back. Now that you are certain that this property was stolen and you know that it is for me, then give me back my property. So let me do whatever I please with it. So the idea that you must tell us, are they going to use it well? Are you going to put it here? No. You cannot be a policeman to me.
All right, so yes, Lagos, you can be part of this conversation right here on Spotlight on Super 92.7 FM. Yes, call us 0705 890 4927. 0705 890 4927 or 0805 090 0927. 0805 092 0927. Don't forget, you can send us messages via WhatsApp. You can send your messages via WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Yes, we are looking at the U.S. presidential inauguration right here today. January 20th is the day for the inauguration of the new president, or the coming back of Donald Trump. Well, and one other thing we also look at, another regular talk about Donald Trump during this campaign was attributing the global conflict to Joe Biden, saying that he is weak, especially in how he has been handling the war and the ceasefire talks and all of this. Do you, by any way, agree to this? How do you see that statement?
That Joe Biden is weak?
I mean, yes, especially how he has followed up with the war, the way he has handled the war, the ceasefire talks and all of that.
Michael, it's politics, all is politics. Joe Biden has done his bit. He's bowing out today. He may not be the president of America ever again, basically because of age.
His age, yeah.
He has done his bit. Everyone cannot always get it right. It depends on the area that he says Joe is weak. We have also seen that even Trump himself, he has also, a lot of people have called him a threat to the world peace. So they may not be correct. So I feel Joe wasn't weak. Joe Biden, former vice president for 8 years, and president of America for 4 years. You cannot call such a man a weak man. He has done his bit, and I'm grateful for the kind of politics that Americans are playing. You can see, which I want to use the opportunity to plead on my people today in Nigeria. Nobody is in the courts. Nobody is going to the tribunal in America. Nobody is in the courts for courts to upturn the election or for one thing or the other. And I think we can borrow some leaf from my American politics and do it well. And also have a very credible umpire, electoral umpire. Because what has been the bane of democracy in Nigeria has been the credibility of the electoral umpire. The credibility of the electoral umpire has always usually been undermined, either by the government or by those who are in charge of running those processes. And I think if we borrow a leaf or two from what the Americans are doing, tomorrow we may not end we may not spend so much time in court, going to court for the courts to now become, to now begin to assert the will of the people on the people, when the true will of the people has been taken away from the people. Therefore, I am particularly excited about what is happening in America. I'm not saying that because I'm moving to America. I'm saying that because those who, the Americans, love themselves and they don't care what the world says. They do as it pleases. And today you can see the court of public opinion wouldn't have given Trump the presidency. But the people of America deemed it fit and gave him overwhelming victory. So I think tomorrow we should, as a country, Nigeria, we should.
But when the campaign started, I'm sorry to interrupt you there. When the campaign started initially, do you see Kamala Harris defeating Trump? I mean, at the earlier stage when Biden stepped down for Harris and then Harris took the mantle to become the representative. I mean, do you perceive that she was going to defeat Trump?
Of course. What was the idea that Biden has to step down? The Democrat was looking for someone that can defeat Trump, and they thought that they've gotten the magic wand. But like I said earlier, in the court of public opinion, the election was not on Trump's side at all. I mean, from the media, conventional media, to where people are talking, and especially what happened at the Capitol 4 years ago. All right? So the election was against him. We saw all the things that happened and the rest of it. So nobody believed. I mean, here in Africa, it was still a shock. You remember, after the election results, it was a shock. Even people like elder statesmen like Professor Akiyemi were shocked on a TV. They were dumbfounded because they didn't know what happened. How the election went that. I mean, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. It was with a very wide margin. Trump defeated Kamala with a massive margin. Yeah. So it wasn't even close. So, like I said, Americans will always do what America wants to do. They don't care about the world view. They don't care about what the rest of the world are saying. They believe they concerned about their own their economy, their military might, their internal issues. They concern themselves about. Unlike Nigeria, that every small thing, every little thing about other countries, we take it upon ourselves as if our own country is better. So we don't even concentrate on building our nation first. So Americans concentrate on building their nation, making their nation strong economically and military-wise. At the end of the day, you can see what they have turned out to be. So whatever America becomes tomorrow, it is their own hand that they used to make it. They didn't leave it for other people to decide for them.
Anyway, that's take a point there. And now Donald Trump, well, when he first took his office in 2017, his administration enacted a sweeping set of actions, especially on immigration. In its early days and weeks, this really marked a shift in the U.S. immigration policy that really was felt even till today. The early actions included the imposition of a travel ban targeting predominantly Muslim countries, also a reduction in refugee admissions, and the introduction of extreme vetting for visa applicants, and a robust expansion of immigration enforcement. Let's go into the immigration angle right now before we wrap up our conversation on the U.S. presidential inauguration. Well, how will you see, because Trump has said that mass deportation of migrants, even the Pope has also said that Trump's planned deportations would be a calamity. Do you see this coming up in the 100 days of office? Do you see the large-scale deportation operation, migrants? Do you see it's coming? Will it be a calamity, or you feel like maybe he might decide to calm down a bit, especially after what he did in 2017?
Well,
That's
Michael,
the fear of
America is a
Africans, though. A lot of Africans have been clamoring about deportation and all of this. That Trump, doesn't really, is not really complacent with Africans and all of that. So, action might be taken. Do you see this action coming?
Yes. Well, America is a country of law. It's a country governed by law. And a president cannot just wake up and give a fiat. It's not a country ruled by military. It is a democratically elected president. So it is governed by law. They have other arms of government.
So there's
You
nothing
saw
to
what
fear.
happened you saw what happened in the UK about the Rwanda refugees during the former prime
They
minister.
were being stopped.
Yes, former prime minister. So I think some of these fears are unfounded. I feel, yes, it is when someone says, I'm going to deport people, the first people that will be apprehensive are
Illegally.
people without papers.
Yeah.
Illegally crying and hide. You don't have them. You don't know them. All right? There is no country that will welcome illegal immigrants. So every country wants their citizens, people that are coming to their country, to have adequate papers, pay tax, be law abiding. Because when you are illegal, when you are a fugitive, you are likely to commit crime. Therefore, if the president of the US says, look, I have so much illegal immigrants, all right?
Yeah.
People who want crime to be caught in their country shouldn't be bothered. So the people that will begin to talk about these things are the people who sneak into that country illegally, who are committing crime. His policies is what he wants to do. It's 4 years. His previous 4 years, he didn't use it to build the wall against the Mexico.
All right, we have a caller. We have a caller on the line quickly. Let's look at. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. 58904927. Hello, good morning. Right, Peter from Aguda. Please make your comment quickly. 1 minute.
Just Biden administration as following its need has to start with the failure to complaints of their citizens having to do with border control. And then lately blocks smiled at Biden when he took them up. He said that he cannot be able to coordinate his ability for campaigning. Then it happened a little late that he stepped down when Biden has less time for canvassing. So what it would like now is that the whole activities there to be revised mostly having to do with illegal immigrants, which would also have precautions, but not like this. But the issue of border control when it's another country, neighboring countries, not like the African. Whatever it looks like, the things Trump would do the second tenure would surprise expectations.
All right, thank you very much. That says that this second tenure will definitely surpass expectation. That's one thing coming from a caller there. Okay, let's begin to wrap up on this conversation. What's your takeout in this inauguration or in Trump's second comment?
I think Nigeria too should begin to realign their international policy with that of the US. They should begin to, Mr. President, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should begin to warm up in trying to bring our relationship, strengthen our relationship with the US, with the Trump administration, and see how we can collaborate and see how we can work together. We don't want to be one of the first countries for a travel ban to be placed on us. At this point, everybody knows what Mr. President of the U.S. is trying to do. So we don't want to be the first nation in the Trump's black book. So at this point, we should begin to work and see how we can strengthen our relationship with the Trump administration.
All right.
And see that whatever, if there is anything that is going to come to Africa, Nigeria should be number one on Trump's agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Godi.